Hi, this is Cassandra Donnelly from Creative Passages, and I wanted to show off my latest decorative paper, which it started off, it started off just as a doodle, to be honest with you, with Sharpie. And I like to make these doodles because they're a good stress release for me, and I like to make them kind of like really odd and different than any other doodles that you might see. Not only did I do the black Sharpie, by the way, this is on copy paper, but also I did a white gel pen and a gold painter pen and a silver painter pen, which you can hardly see any of them. And I had some beautiful line work and it was looking really cool. And I also had collage layer that I added on top of it, and so even some glitter watercolor paint. And I liked the way that it looked, but for some reason I had a compulsion to even add more layers. I love layers, and I think I just needed the art process more than I needed to end up with anything that I really liked. So this was more about the process to me, but I do like what I have here, but it's completely different than the pretty stage. I would call this kind of like ugly beautiful. It's very grungy. It's got like a really wabi-sabi feel to it. But let me go back. So I added the collage, and then I momigamied it all. And then after I momigamied it, I came back and I added crackle paste, and I added gel medium through a stencil. The crackle paste I just kind of put on there, and then I let that dry and momigamied again after it was dry. And then I added this gold glaze with mica in it, some gold mica. You can kind of see it there. Oh, and I forgot, I also added ink, like black ink. I wanted to find a tool I really like. It's like a loose brush, and it really does the ink kind of in interesting ways. But instead, I couldn't find that, so I just took a brush and brushed on the ink, and then I took a palette knife and I kind of spread it out in interesting ways. Oh, and it also has lots of distress sprays on it. And so then there was a final, well, actually, after the glaze, I didn't momigami it again. But one thing I noticed is that it was easier to momigami the crackle paste and the gel medium after it was already softened from the original momigami. This also has like textured type of, you know, halfway between a paper and a fabric. And like over here, let's see if I can find it right there. And right here we have cheesecloth. So there's all kinds of interesting things in there, and I like the way the momigami part turned out. It just made it look like it's just really worn and torn, and I like the mystery of the little parts that kind of crease inwards, and with a pop of like pretty colors here and there. But it is a little bit dark, but I try to like make some contrast there too. So I was thinking, like, originally was gonna have this collaged and make this so that I can rip it up and put it into other collages or paintings, but I've since liked it too much to rip it up. So what I'm thinking, it'll go in my journal. It'll be like a journal page, and I can put, it's not quite holding right, I can put little beads maybe in some of these crevices or where some of the distress paint is. I think it'll look really cute to have some beads in there. And I can take the edge of here and maybe put some lace or some fabric with like loose ends that kind of fray on the edge there, or maybe like a little button like over here. This could also become some kind of pocket. Of course, if I'm going to put it in my journal, I usually have something on the other side, or I could just leave it like this and maybe just put a glaze of like another color on here. Might be kind of cool. Then I could see some of the design and there would be some intrigue there. So this is going to be one of my papers for a future junk journal. I don't know what you think, but I think it's kind of cool. Ugly beautiful, very wabi-sabi, and I think I feel content with it at this moment. Be blessed. Bye.